Awesome. Hi, Gloria. How's it going?
Hey, Sam, I'm so excited. We've got some fun things coming up, don't we?
Absolutely. So, for everyone that's watching or listening to this, today we're gonna kind of go over what Glory's working on, the Music Business Mastery live event. So, this is something that we've shared in the past, but it's always getting new features and new sort of add-ons and goodies that are being sort of included into the program. So this is
Absolutely.
the newest incarnation and the best yet, of course.
Yeah.
Um, so do you want to give everyone just a quick overview of what it is they're going to be expecting in this event?
Absolutely. So, Music Business Mastery Live is a 3-day event. It's 2 hours per day. We are really going to be exploring everything from mindset, how you're going to grow your music teaching business faster. What does it take? I'm going to reveal, the 4 mistakes that music educators often make in trying to grow their business, and of course, how to avoid them. We're going to talk about strategies. How can we impact our music teaching business and how can we increase our income? And so often we kind of get stuck in not knowing how to get there. So I'm mapping out a step-by-step system for you that's going to help you in developing the decision-making process so that you can be making money and growing your business. And then on to day 3, when we do all the tools and things so that we can attract our ideal students and save time. So it's going to be fun.
Oh, that's awesome. I honestly, I do a lot of the demos for Musi. I talk to a lot of the teachers
Yes.
that are coming onto the platform. And obviously, the number one questions are how do I attract the ideal student
Yeah.
and how do I grow my business? And
Yeah.
usually, some form of that is I want to grow my business, but I don't want to teach 50 hours a week.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
so and I know that that's a big part of what you're doing here is explaining to people with actionable items, things that they can actually execute on right away, not just theoretical, which, theory's great, which is it's good to have that background, but and as you especially for music theory, but but theory for actual teaching and growing the business is fine, but having actionable executable things that you can really do to
Yeah.
move the business forward. I think, as you said, that's where people get the most stuck because they have all these ideas. Ideas there's no shortage of, right?
Yeah.
It's how do you actually implement this idea in any kind of effective way? Is
Yeah.
and obviously that's sort of what you specialize in is making sure that the execution is something that can be done by anybody, especially anyone who takes the time to sit down and learn this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. When you come into Music Business Mastery Live, you are going to walk away after 3 days with having a complete plan, an actionable plan that you can implement right now. So that within the next 30 days, 30, 60, 90 days, you are easily elevating your income. And we talk about how to teach groups, we talk about how to teach music theory camps, all these things that increase the revenue in your business. And whether you're teaching piano or voice or guitar, whatever instrument, this is for you. This is not specific for piano. This is not
Right.
specific for guitar. It is generally for music educators. How can I grow my business, right? How can I increase my income? And you're right, Sam. Very often it's like, well, I don't know where to find students. Here's the thing, we're musicians, we're not in the marketing business.
Yep.
And so very often we're like, I don't know, what should I do? Right.
Yep.
So I think it's really important that this is kind of the shortcut. And we've run this event with you before and with massive success. You'll meet some of our elite educators in the program as well who have come into the program and going, oh my gosh. One of our recent clients said, I can't believe it. I'm on track to do $116,000 this year. And she came into Music Business Mastery Live in our last session and said, wow, like this stuff really works. So bravo to growing a 6-figure teaching business.
Well, and that's the thing is six-figure teaching businesses are a real thing. It's
Oh,
not,
yeah.
I see a lot of like guru-y kind of things. They're like grow to six figures, and a lot of that again is just the theory of, and it's very rarely is it the execution of actually doing this stuff. Because in theory, any business could be six figures, any business could be seven figures, but It's can you actually execute? And as you mentioned, like timing wise, the camps is going to be probably a big hit, I can imagine.
Oh,
Uh,
yes.
I see and in just in the Facebook groups and in the forums and things that I follow, a lot of discussions right now about summer, of course, and summer camps and
Hmm.
things like that. And the one of the things I see overwhelmingly is teachers saying that their theory camps are their bestseller and
Yeah.
some of the most fun for them to actually do.
Yeah.
And and that's something I think as a guitar teacher, for example, we use theory obviously, but I usually think of theory intertwined with the guitar, right?
Yeah.
Not so much about actually extracting it into its own domain and making that something that is, the focus of what we're doing. And obviously, being alternate music theory, there's, that's sort of your focus. But from everyone that I know that's either done the music business mastery or worked with you in other aspects is said that adding those theory classes, those theory camps and things like that are actually one of the most fun things to do because it's a little bit different than just your regular guitar lesson, right?
Right.
You're,
Hmm.
you're you're a teacher and you've been teaching for 20, 30 years. Um, there's a little bit of redundancy or repetitiveness to our job in a way, where
Yeah.
this is adding in something that's sort of fresh, but something you already know quite well. And obviously, going through your programs and things gives them the reinforcement to be able to execute at a high level. But yeah, I think it's really cool because the theory, I've been seeing recently a lot of comments about theory camps specifically and how much that's sort of the big sell for their summer programs and that's just a great opportunity for them to have.
Absolutely. And so many of our elite educators are loving Musi
Mm.
because it's an incredible platform that complements their group teaching.
Yep.
So it's a win-win for them. And they're just saying, well, this is an incredible opportunity to, jump into Musi and I can teach my theory club classes online. I can teach them in person if I choose to. But if you want to free up your summer and or even go to teach online, like there's a lot of opportunities right now. And I think one of the most important thing for educators is to explore options. This one music business mastery live training, I think, is just going to help you think about what's possible for your business.
Yeah.
How do you want to grow? What do you want to do? And, just what you said, Sam, about, whether you're playing the guitar, whether you're playing the keys, like you need to, in this day and age, many people are multi instrumentalists,
Oh yeah.
and we need to be able to collaborate. So if I'm playing keys and you're playing guitar, we still are speaking the same language about key signatures and time signatures and dynamic and take it and which 4-bar measures are you or 12 whatever 12-bar blues. So it's really important to also I think get excited as a teacher because so
Yeah.
often students will say, oh, theory, oh, that's boring, blah 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 blah, and a lot of teachers think it's boring because that's how they were taught.
Right. Yeah. If you get
So
the old
it's,
school theory, then it is boring.
yeah, for sure. I thought it was boring. If you read my story, Lori thinks music theory is boring until now.
No, I think that's dead on. And actually, what you it's kind of funny the way you just reminded me. So as I said at the beginning, I do obviously a lot of demos on Musi, and the one question I always ask people at the beginning of the call is a little bit like, give me a background. What are you teaching? What do you do?
Yeah.
It's 90%. Oh, I teach online. I teach in person. And then I ask, do you do any group teaching? And the number one response to that is not yet, but I really like to.
Yes.
And and I'd say that is 90% of the people that come to Musi or that I'm talking to. And that I think is a fascinating sort of insight to everyone is in a way aware that it's an option, that it's
Mhm.
something that they could be doing. But as we said, there's so much unknown, and it's really not actually that much unknown, but you think there's more unknown, you sort of build it up in your head. And that's where something like this comes into play, where this will give you those resources to actually just do it.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to someone literally yesterday, and their big thing is they want to start doing group classes. And they number one thing was they kept saying is they don't even know where to begin. And
Yes.
it's like part of me is like, well, you're a teacher, just teach, like do your thing. but there is a little bit more to it. You do
Absolutely.
actually have to prep and plan and have some formats and ideas in place. You don't want to just walk in the room and be like, all right, we're going to wing it today. That doesn't make anybody feel good. Um, so I think, especially with groups are becoming more and more popular.
Yeah.
And I think it's because people are seeing that, we talk about these six-figure studios.
Yep.
Almost all of them are offering groups. You know,
Absolutely.
you kind of have
One of the things too that you were saying, Sam, about teaching groups is that when you come into Music Business Mastery Live and you're learning about the mindset strategies and tools in order to increase your income, this is not just about theory.
right.
This is about any discipline. So you want to teach group guitar, you want to teach group piano, you want to teach group voice, you want to teach group accordion, like violin, whatever it might be. All of these elements that you're going to be learning, business in a box is what I call it,
Okay.
are there for you. Because you're right, Sam. How do you start? It's like anything, right? I don't know how to start. What should I charge? How many
Yep.
people go in a group? Is it about their age? Is it about their ability?
Right.
How do I make this easy to go? Do I need to create lesson plans? How long should my camps run? Like there's a million
Yeah.
questions. And one of the beauties of Music Business Mastery Live is that it is a live event. And I encourage you to
Right.
attend live because we have Q&A sessions so that you will get your questions answered in real time, not just research something and hope you find the answer, but
Yeah.
ask the experts. We've been doing this for many, many years, and we're a global company. We've got educators around the world, and we know what works, and we are happy to share all of this with you.
Yeah, and I have to reinforce that point. When there's a live event, attend it live if you can, obviously,
Yeah,
but even move things around if you need to. Like
absolutely.
I really think that the live aspect of these is what makes it valuable. I mean, obviously the
Yeah,
information you're gaining is the value, but having, like you said, the real-time feedback, and it's kind of like if you, I do these like fitness classes and stuff. Like if like I use my Peloton all the time
yeah,
for fitness, I can either go on and watch a Peloton class from 2 weeks ago,
yeah,
or I can actually attend a live Peloton class right then and there. I
yeah.
do so much better in the live ones because
Hmm.
everybody else is actually there now with you too.
Yes,
It's that
yes,
sort of group camaraderie of like, okay, we're all in this together, we're all learning from each other, and it's that feedback in real time that makes it a little bit more special. Where of course you can go watch the recordings, but then you're just going to be sitting alone watching recordings, and then when you
yeah,
do have a question, you're going to be like, oh, okay, well now I got to go write an email to Glory and hopefully she'll get back to me, and then and it's like if you've got your question, just ask your question, and then someone will feed off of that question with something. And it's funny. I mean, we all schools are group classes for a reason, right? Like I always found it really weird that when you move into private education, like specifically music, it becomes private education, as
hmm
if it's like you don't want to work with other people for some reason, if that's going to
yes,
slow you down or something.
yeah,
It's like the reason public schools and private schools and schooling in general is groups is because and I think anyone here can attest to this, is well, who did you learn the most from? The
yeah,
teacher in the front, or did you learn the most from the students around you and the other questions that were asked, and or
yes,
the feeling of
yes,
I don't want to ask the question because I might sound stupid, but the kid
yeah,
next to me, no problem asking the question. And so at least the question gets answered,
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like I think it's an interesting dynamic that we've kind of, as music teachers, we sort of like back away from the group thing naturally.
yeah. Hmm.
In reality, because we feel like, oh, well, can we charge as much? Are they going to get as much out of it? And
100%.
one thing that drives me nuts is I see people being like, oh, well, maybe I'll do like 50% cheaper or something. In my head, I'm like, why don't you do 50% more? Like,
Yeah,
shouldn't it be more expensive because they're getting more out of this? Like, you
yeah, it's
know,
true.
it's just there's so much more to it than I think we assume too much, I
Yeah.
think.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad you mentioned that, Sam, because I actually, in the Music Business Mastery Live event coming up, and make sure to get signed up, by the way, so you don't miss all the bonuses and things that are coming out in advance. But also, I'll be sharing about the cooperative learning theory and actually why do you learn better in small
Oh,
groups. So I'm
cool.
going to be
Awesome.
talking about that. So it also helps you sell your product to parents when you have the
Right.
knowledge. When they go, oh, I'd rather just do private. You go, well, did you know you actually learn faster in small groups? This is not me making this up. This is a
Right. It's like,
scientific
this is the
fact.
data.
And I'm going to give you the resources so that you can back it up to say, well, in fact, you're right, Sam. I think people should start charging more for their
Yeah.
small group classes, right? I mean, you don't need to have 30 kids in a class, but when you've got 6 to 8 kids in a class, not only ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching in your pocket, but it benefits the student
Yeah.
tenfold, 20-fold, 30-fold, so much better. So let's
And
dive in. We're going to have some fun coming
I
up.
know, I love it. I like, and so for everyone that is interested, we'll have a link below
Yeah,
for you to go and sign up, and that will have some extra goodies and things added onto it. So do use the link
yeah,
that we've got here. But basically, what we're saying is that you can grow your business effectively. And this isn't just about groups. It's more
yes,
about there's a wider berth of information here.
yeah,
This is sort of what the big topic always seems to be: how do I get into groups? And so it's good that this is one of those things that does directly sort of talk about that
yeah,
and move that forward. But yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I think that everyone should check this out, and like I said, attend live if you can, because that's when you get the best out of it. um but yeah, I mean, thank you, Glory, for taking the time to tell everybody about the program and
absolutely.
everything.
Yeah,
And the link will be
absolutely.
below, so use that link to sign up. And if you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Glory. We're happy to answer those things. But yeah, I mean, this is a good opportunity. I think that and everyone should
Absolutely.
be jumping on it.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to seeing everybody at Music Business Mastery Live. So thanks, Sam.
Awesome. I'll talk to you soon.